I'm going to talk about the certain motifs found in the Garden of Eden that parallels Eve and Christ, and how Eve is a Christ figure for Adam, and that Adam is a prototype of us. In the story that the Hebrews present in the Bible, it's from the perspective of Adam. And I think it's from our own perspective that he's a prototype of us. Adam is from Adamah, meaning the earth, so pointing to the gift that we receive, these physical bodies that are like our heavenly parents. Also, Adam is another word for mankind in Hebrew. Adam is found all alone, and he is looking at all the creations of God, and that everything has a partner, and everything can continue on and fulfill the measure of their creation. That is, they can have a glorious life. They can be all that they're meant to be. But Adam cannot. And he finds himself in the predicament that we found ourselves in. As spirit children, we could not continue to progress like Jesus Christ could, like I would argue Eve could. We could not receive a body of our heavenly parents that was glorious, to continue on as they do, creating, and that we found ourselves all alone. But Eve comes and saves Adam from his predicament, and when she partakes of the fruit, Adam warns her, "Do not partake of that, you shall surely die." But she does it as much for him as for all of us. And I think this is a parallel to the relationship that Jesus Christ has with his mother on earth, in that Eve delivers us physically, she gives us a physical body, but the motif is that she is as the heavenly parent. She is as a parent. They are parents, right? Adam and Eve. The motif with Jesus Christ is as child. So we have this motif of Mary, the mother of Jesus, whereas Adam is like unto Mary, but is the husband, the spouse of Eve, of Hava, the life. Interestingly, Eve's name is also life, Hava, like Jesus is the light and the life. It's interpreted as the mother of all living. So in Ether, it talks about the brother of Jared seeing the finger of Christ and saying that this is the body that I will have when I come to earth, and that he didn't know that he would have flesh and blood. And then it says that in verse 14, so it's Ether 3:14, it says that Jesus Christ, and it says this many places, is both the Father and the Son. And you see that motif as well with Eve as being the mother of all living, that prototype of our Heavenly Mother, but also being the daughter of our Heavenly Mother, of having received a body from her and choosing, like her brother Jesus Christ, to, instead of receiving a glorious body, but she chose instead to receive a body of knowledge of good and evil, like us. A fallen body, you can say. And in that way, she delivered us. She sacrificed that of partaking of the tree of life, as was her name, had required that she was, you know, the motif of her being a tree, of being the mother of children who, and I talked about this in another video, so this might not make much sense if you watch this out of context. You'd have to watch, oh, what did I even call my other video? Oh, the two trees. You have to watch the video on the two trees. But a tree is an ancient motif of female deity. And so instead of being a tree that bears fruit or children, in other words, that is glorious, being the tree of life, and that is her name, she chose to be the tree of knowledge of good and evil, pointing us to eventually become fruit of life, fruit of the tree of life, and yes, in that way she's a Christ figure.